Any modern day Hebrew speaker, just remember it was a Russian linguistic that created the Hebrew modern day language you speak. So whenever you're saying Yeshua, you're saying all these names, when you're saying Baal in Hebrew, and we know Baal to be a Babylonian demon, that whole language and the words came from this brother right here called Ben. That was a Russian man. So if you claim to be a Hebrew and Jesus is black and all of this type of stuff, fair enough. But where did the belief come from though? Where did the book come from though? Where did the language come from though? It came from people that you're claiming is not a part of the people in that land. So you should really look at it as plagiarism and how they copied concepts from ancient Africa and plagiarize it into the Hebrew doctrine, the Bible doctrine, and the Islamic doctrine. If you know the history of the lands they're talking about, the people there in ancient times are doing something else. Nothing to do with no Hebrews, nothing to do with no Bible. So the Hebrew language is not catering to you. You should not even worry about speaking Hebrew. You should be thinking about speaking an African language because that language predates the Hebrew language, knowing that it was just formed in the 1800s.
Modern Zionist Hebrew. It has no relation to the ancient Canaanite Hebrew language. Rather, it is a Zionist invention that was implemented in the 19th century in order to deceive everyone that they have ancient Canaanite origins. Here, when I was reading about the ancient Canaanite languages, I discovered that ancient Hebrew was different from modern Hebrew. I asked ChatGPT about this matter and whether this isn't true, and this was his response.
Eliezer Ben-Huda, the inventor of modern Hebrew, who founded the Zionist movement with his son, which was named after his son. His son Ben-Zion Ben-Yehuda founded the Zionist movement with his father, which was named after him. Some GPT chat answers about the modern Hebrew language.
The Yiddish language did not simply die out. It was liquidated purposefully by the Zionist entity to strengthen the colonial project called Israel. European Jews spoke Yiddish. They did not speak Hebrew. Hebrew was a language that was reserved for reading the Torah, not conversating amongst other European Jews. European Jews make up the vast majority of Israeli settlers. The same way that they changed from Yiddish to Hebrew is the same way that Benjamin Milikowski became Benjamin Netanyahu. It's all a sham. They are cosplaying as ancient Jews to try to lay claim to a land that doesn't belong to them. I myself am not a Semitic Jew. My family is from Europe. We don't speak Hebrew, and I have no DNA tracing back to the Levant region. I am not Semitic. I'm just a Jew, an anti-Zionist Jew. Free Palestine, all the way from the river, all the way to the sea. Zionism, you won't use this Jew as a bullet in your machine gun clip. I promise you. Fuck you.
They invented Hebrew language in 1896, and they lie to you. They tell you that it's old language. It's bullshit. It was this Russian Zionist who then moved to Palestine. He invented this language for the zoo project. Of course, it's fake. He took 80% of Arabic words and then wrote this book also. This guy is a nutcase. So Hebrew is 80% Arabic with Yiddish alphabets. Here's the proof. Hebrew, Yiddish. Hebrew, Yiddish. Hebrew, Yiddish. Exactly same letters. Exactly same language. In addition, they lie to you about Phoenician script. This is a script, has nothing to do with the Germanic language. This is a script, that's a language. And to confuse you further, they add fiction to reality. The fiction is religious fiction. Solomon's Temple, Kingdom of Judah, that's all fiction, has nothing to do with reality. The Old Testament was written in Arabic. This is the oldest Old Testament from 10th century, supposedly, and you can find it in the Library of Congress. Yes, Old Testament was written in Arabic. 90% of Jews were Arabs, and they always spoke Arabic. They invented the Hebrew language in 1896. This Russian Jew invented this language for the Zoo Project. In the Library of Congress, you can pull all the Hebrew manuscripts, and when you find the oldest one is actually in Arabic. The rest are in Yiddish. This is the oldest Yiddish Bible or Hebrew Bible. That's what they call it. It's actually a Yiddish Bible. This is what they say to you. They literally mix Yiddish and Hebrew. It's Yiddish. It's literally same language. So this is the oldest Yiddish Bible. You can also find it in the Library of Congress. It's 300 years old.
Today is going to totally shock you. Now, this is from Wikipedia and many other places. You can check this out. The language Hebrew was not spoken at all until the 20th century. The 20th century means that only in the 1950s and 60s you could find people who spoke Hebrew fluently. The language basically did not exist.
And it's been
now,
created,
another thing is you can see here, what I've sent you here, I've just sent you now, is that Hebrew was not spoken at all for the last 2,000 years.
Eliezer Ben-Huda had to invent new words for modern Hebrew. Yeah, it's talking about a lot of the inventions of new words for it, yeah.
Now, I'm going to make this easy for you because people don't understand what invent means. Arabic and Hebrew today have an estimated 60% the same words.
And grammar,
the
right?
first Hebrew dictionary was written after 1880 by a man named Ben-Huda, and he was from Lithuania. Now, what did he do? He invented a lot of new words. So that's why there's 40% difference. Now, let's see what Ben-Huda said himself. The man who invented the modern Hebrew language, he wrote the Hebrew dictionary. And let's see what he said. I've sent you a link here now. This is from Wikipedia and from Haaretz, a major national newspaper in Israel.
Wow, this is crazy. Okay.
Now, but wait till you hear what he said. Now, Ben-Huda, he's the creator and the inventor of the modern Hebrew language. He was a humanist. People can check what humanists are. Now, this is what he said. He said that the roots or the heart of the Arabic language were originally part of the Hebrew language. He said that these Arabic roots were mysteriously lost. Oh, how could they be lost if the Jews were speaking Arabic anyway? And then he said they were found again when he wrote the dictionary. And he found the roots of the Hebrew language within the Arabic language. And then they invented modern Hebrew. But let me go through this because this is really serious. And then he turned around and says to create modern Hebrew language, he was able to do this by turning to the Arabic language. He said he did this because he followed the example of our, quote, ancient scholars. Who the hell are these ancient scholars? He said that ancient scholars, when they created Hebrew, they did it with Arabic. So he's even saying himself that Hebrew was originally created from Arabic.
Yeah,
and then he says he's following their example and he's doing the same thing. And Hebrew was not a spoken language. Even then, it was spoken for the last 2,000 years by Jewish people. So, no, Arabic was spoken by the Jewish people.
Let's give the audience a second to read it. This is crazy. These are great quotes. So I'm seeing here.
So now what he says,
the Arabic roots of our.
Worse,
Hold on, I just want to get it quoted for people. This is amazing. So this is the guy who is publicly accepted for writing Hebrew.
Let me finish the full sentences.
Okay.
Because I've just given you the screenshot from Google. I've actually opened up Haaretz. So now, Eliezer Ben-Huda and other researchers, they turned around and said that in the Hebrew Bible and in the Mishnah and in the Talmud, these religious books of modern Judaism, he said that these words, most of them have got Arabic roots, hundreds of Arabic roots. Basically, they're Arabic words. And he said to understand the Hebrew in the Old Testament, and the Talmud and the Mishnah, it was easy to understand it through the Arabic language. In simple words, he said the Arabic language made it easy to invent the modern Hebrew language. And many words found in the Bible, the Mishnah and the Talmud were actually Arabic.
I'm going to tell you a number of things, but you really only have to remember two words. Governments lie. Very important to remember. governments lie. I mean, not just the American government. Governments in general lie. Now, when I say all governments lie, that may sound like an anarchist statement. The anarchists have something there. Yeah. They're right to be skeptical and suspicious of people who hold governmental power, because the tendency of people who hold governmental power is to lie in order to maintain that power.